A friend of mine gave me a jar of fig jam, something I had never had before. It's sweet, dark, and delicious, and immediately reminded me of a childhood favorite, fig Newtons. My Italian friend suggested I try her family recipe for thumbprint cookies filled with fig jam. This cookie is easy to make, and I found that I can buy fig jam quite easily online. To make these thumbprint cookies, you will need 1 stick of softened, unsalted butter, 1/4 of a cup of white sugar, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1 egg yolk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract, 1 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, an extra 1/4 of a cup of sugar for rolling the cookies in before we bake them, and about 1/3 of a cup of fig jam. This recipe will make a baker's dozen. You're going to start by creaming your softened butter, and then we'll add the sugar. Your next addition is your almond extract, your vanilla extract, and your egg yolk, and mix thoroughly. I've added my salt and cornstarch to our flour mixture, and now you just want to, using your electric mixer, mix well. Your dough will be very crumbly, even though it's mixed well, but now this is the time that you come in with your hands and you need to bring this dough together before we can form it into balls. Just using your hands, just scoop up some dough about the size of a ping pong ball and roll them in the sugar and place them on a parchment-lined baking sheet. I'll be putting about 8 cookies on this cookie sheet. They need to be about 2 inches apart. So your next step is to take I like to use the back of a teaspoon, although you can use your thumb, and just indent each of these cookies, and then they'll go into the freezer for 30 minutes. And the freezing process is really important because it'll keep your cookies from spreading when they're in the oven. After 30 minutes, take the cookies out of the freezer and then fill each thumbprint with fig jam. Now into a preheated 375-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Cool completely before serving or storing. These cookies freeze very well. In the late 1800s, when fig Newtons were first introduced, the biscuit and fig combination was often recommended to relieve digestive problems. Is this a guilt-free cookie? Well, not exactly, but this sweet and crunchy cookie is simply delicious and sure to become a family favorite.